All right, Con. Give it 1 second. Lord willing, you can hear me, man. Lord willing, I got that situated. So, Con, man. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashim, Mashiach, Yahweh Shah. Right, so today we're going to go over dealing with smoking weed, the effects of smoking weed, right? So we understand that anybody with common knowledge will understand that we cannot be smoking weed. We understand that. We understand when you smoke, it allows demons to enter into your mind, and where you have different thought process, a whole different thought process of what you're supposed to have, which is your original thought process, right? It goes into witchcraft, sorcery, warlocks, and witches, man. This is what it goes to. Shalom, David, Israel. So, Khan, man, I just got a quick lesson I want to go over dealing with smoking weed and the effects of smoking weed. And I got a couple scriptures I want to link up to these two articles that I ran across, right? So the first scripture I want to go over is Galatians 5:19, right? So you smoking weed you will be considered a fleshly person, a carnal person. The fact that you have to smoke and think that, we all smoked weed, man. We all had our excuses on why we smoke weed. Some brothers use the excuse of it helps me get through the day. It helps me get through my problem. I have anxiety, depression. I have all these different things. We understand that. But it's the scripture says wisdom shall be the stability of our time. Not smoking weed. And I will never say that the herb is a bad thing, because it's not, but it has its purpose, and it's to be eaten, not to be smoked. And if that's the case, if you don't agree with that, then what about celery? What about broccoli? They're green herbs. Why you're not smoking those either? So that's how you know that you was taught to smoke weed, but you don't know where you was taught from. Who taught you that smoking weed was okay? Was it your parents? The ones that when you come into the truth, they tell you that you the one bugged out, you tripping because you came into the knowledge of the Bible. These are the same people that smoke weed. So we know everything we see that the people are doing of the world, we're not supposed to be doing. Right? And that's what Jake do in the world, man. That's one thing, smoking. They even changed the name, and they changed the name of it. They call it smoking dope now. Went from weed to smoking dope. So they understand that the chemicals and everything that comes with the gas that they using now, it ain't even the herb that the Lord created, and they created it to be way more powerful than what the Lord created it to be, man. And that's why they call it dope, or they call it gas. All right, so let's get into the scriptures, though. So this is Galatians 5:19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest. And he's going to give us examples on the works of the flesh. It says adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft. Now, witchcraft is the point. Witchcraft is the reason why I got this scripture. But I'm going to continue. I'm going to read this, finish this. It says hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, and heresies. It says envying, murders, drunkenness, reviling. It says, in such like of that, of which I tell you before, as I have told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So you not make it into the kingdom if you partaking in one of these things, and especially trying to justify partaking in these things, right? So the point Though the one word I want to get though is witchcraft. So let's see what witchcraft is. I already got it set out on the table. So witchcraft going to the word pharmakeia, which goes into, in the modern term, pharmaceuticals, right? And pharmaceutical, what else ties into pharmaceuticals? Pills, different kind of pills, and also weed when it comes to smoking it. So it says the pharmakeia, the use or the administering of drugs. So the use of drugs. Herb is not a drug, but when you smoke it, you're turning it into a drug. You're creating a whole nother use for it. That's not what the Lord created it to be. The Lord created it to heal. The Lord said it's for meat. He didn't say smoke it. So that goes into, let's get this. Like that goes into this because Paul spoke of this. So I get my phone, my laptop a little slow right now. And you got to ask yourself, man, if you really can say that smoking is okay and you can teach the nation that, would you allow your youth, your child to smoke if it's really okay, like you say? Because we know we're not supposed to be inhaling nothing. But imagine a kid smoking, right? So I get my computer going slow. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna just read it off. Read it off from the Bible. So this is the book of Romans, chapter 1, right? One second. Bear with me. So this is Romans chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at 25, right? So it says, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator who is blessed forever? Amen, right? So this is what we see the world doing in general. They changed the whole truth of God into a lie. That's why you always have strifes and debates with people because they don't believe what's actually written. But I want to drop down to the point. So I want to start at verse 28. It says, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, a double-minded person, to do those things which are not convenient. This is what you see brothers doing. And it goes into smoking, man. You're doing stuff that's not, what do you need to smoke for? When the scriptures tell you it's simple, wisdom shall be the stability of your tongue. Not smoking no damn J or smoking out the bone. You wrapping herb up with tobacco leaves. So I'm gonna continue. It says, verse 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection. It says, Salakia, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only to do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Right. So the Most High God says, you're gonna get it worse because you got pleasure and it's one thing when a brother's struggling with something coming into the truth, but we're talking about somebody that actually teach that it's okay to smoke when we know damn well it's not okay to smoke, man. When you go check out the effects of actually smoking weed, man. But the point is verse 30. It says, inventors of evil things. That is an evil thing that you created, smoking it, because that's not its purpose. Its purpose is to be ate. You're supposed to eat weed. You're not supposed, and you damn sure can't be mixing these different strands and trying to make it even more powerful. You can't do that. And we know brothers know that. And we all smoked. Brothers look for the most highest strand, the more with the most THC. Some brothers they'll get, get the herb and they'll put dab or wax on top of it. You're trying to get high. You're not doing it for medicinal reasons. And brothers know this, but they will teach that smoking is okay, and we know it's not okay, right? So let me get this. I want to get this article, right? And this is the effects of smoking weed, right? They got the short-term effects and long-term effects, right? So let's get into it. We got some short-term effects. Is short-term memory problems. Smoking weed causes short-term memory problems, right? So how are you going to be able to understand the scriptures? How are you going to be able to retain the scriptures if you got a short-term memory problem from smoking? It says severe anxiety, including fear that one is being watched or followed, paranoid. The Most High say he didn't give us the spirit of fear, but you allowing smoking to cause you to fear. And then what are you fearing? Are you fearing things that's tapping in reality that you know you ain't supposed to be smoking? Things like that? Is that what you're afraid of? Do you know you need to put that down? So it says very strange behavior, seeing, hearing, or smelling things that aren't there. And we all done this in the world. I'll give you an example. We'll be all in the front room chilling, playing a game or something. We just got done smoking. And somebody be like, hey, you smell that burning? And it ain't nothing burning. Brothers is bugged out. But like I said, this is stuff we did in the world, man. So it says not being able to tell imagination from reality. Psychotic, man. You don't know if something is real or not. Hey, a perfect example. You don't know you smoked your cells so bad that you don't even know if it's okay to smoke or not. You really think you really meditating on, is this okay? This is reality, man. You know you're not supposed to be smoking. You know the Most High God is not with you smoking. But let's continue. It says it causes you to panic. We're supposed to have a sober mind, keeping our mind stayed on the Most High, keeping my mind stayed on things above. What we need to be panicking about? Losing patience, especially when you don't got that herb that you smoke every day. The days that you don't have it, look how you act. It says hallucinating. You hallucinating because you got these damn demons entering into your mind. It says loss of sense of personal identity. Niggas don't even know who they is. Niggas don't know who they is, and they really don't care if they don't got that herb, if they can't smoke. It says lowered reaction time. Sure, when you react to something, it's just for a moment. Next thing you know, you on to something different. When the scriptures tell us we're supposed to do stuff decency and in order. It says increased heart rate, risk of heart attack. Tell me that this is biblical, that the Most High is cool with this. Your heart beating fast, man. All because you want to inhale something you ain't supposed to inhale anything. And let's keep it real. We know we ain't supposed to be inhaling anything. That ain't a warrior. How you smoking? And we supposed to be going to war pretty soon. But you smoking. You gonna get tired fast. That's all you gotta do is dance around you for a little bit. It says increased risk of stroke. These are problems, man, that we know that the Most High God do not want on us. It says problems with coordination. And it gives an example, impairing safe driving or playing sports. So imagine studying. You ain't gonna be able to do that. Or you looking at let's think about it, you being high and you looking at the scriptures. You gonna swear something is right there that it ain't. All because you wanted to smoke before you studied. So it says even sexual problems for males. And that's something, hey, everybody else can figure that out on their own. It says up to 7 times more likely to contract sexual transmitted infections than non-users for females. So it's telling you smoking weed, you're 7 times more likely to contract a sexual transmitted infection. So let's get into the long-term problems. So it says decline in IQ up to 8 points if prolonged use started in adolescence age. So everything that you obtain from growing up, bruh, you losing all this from smoking. You don't know left or right no more. You don't know how to do math no more. You barely know how to read no more. Why? Because the only thing your mind is wrapped around is smoking. It says poor school performance and a higher chance of dropping out. And we all smoked weed. We all dropped out of school because we wanted to be at our friend house who mama didn't care if we smoked weed. We'd rather be at their house. So these things are, I'm bringing these out because these things are linking up. It fits perfectly. If the shoe fit, wear it. It says impaired thinking and ability to learn and perform complex tasks. Lower life satisfaction. It says addiction. Potential development of opioid abuse. And this is why you got niggas getting weed and then they putting dab and wax on top of it because you smoke so many blunts and it's starting not to do nothing for you. So it's a potential development for opioid abuse. Next thing you know, you dealing with cocaine now because the weed wasn't good enough no more. Why? That proves brothers trying to get high. It's all about getting high, man. It ain't got nothing to do with what the Most High created it for. And there ain't no way you can justify it. So it says relationship problems. You never get along with your spouse because one day you might not be high and you need a blunt. The weed man ain't around. Weed man ran out of weed. It says imitate partner violence. It says antisocial behavior, including stealing money or lying. And we know that's factual. You don't want to talk to nobody when you ain't got a blunt, if you ain't high. And the Most High told us to build as a nation. We're supposed to be building. And it tells you stealing and lying. We know that's against the law. It says financial difficulties. Why? Because you spending all your damn money on weed. Increased welfare dependence. It says greater chance of being unemployed or not getting good jobs. And we all know that these are factual things that happen, man. And that's why I brought this article up, because I was like, damn, this hit right on the money. So let's get some more scriptures. Right, so let's go to 1 Corinthians 3, which I didn't even hear brothers say that this scripture does not have nothing to do with smoking. When it tells you right here in 1 Corinthians 3 and 16, it says, now know ye not that ye are the temple of God. This is all spiritual. We are the temple of the Most High. And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. So if the Spirit of God is dwelling in you, but you smoking weed and you got demons dwelling inside you also, we know God is not the author of confusion. This is something for us to sit and think about. It says, if any man defile the temple of God, how you can defile the temple? By eating unclean things, doing unclean things. You can defile your temple by smoking. Simple, man. You can defile your temple by smoking. It says, if any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. And the Most High gonna destroy you because you ain't. How he gonna use you if you suffering from all these short-term and long-term smoking effects? Because these things is factual, man. These things really happens to people short-term and long-term. Right? So let's get another precept. Let's go to Matthew right quick. And I'm bringing out the simplicity of the scriptures, linking it up with the simplicity of the truth about smoking, man. This is simple. This is not hard to understand. We can't be smoking. It says right here in Genesis 1. Simple, man. The green herb. It says Genesis 1:29. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be given for meat. So who smokes meat? Because the Most High said that this should be given for meat. It says, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. So this is inventors of evil things, because it says right here what the Most High created it for. And let's see what a herb is. Let's see what he's speaking about. So this is herb right here. And the word is, let me
Strong's H6212. Asiv.
So the word is asif, right? And it says right here, outline of biblical usage. It says herb, herbage, grass, green plants. So there's many of green plants. Why do you choose that specific green herb to smoke? Why not smoke broccoli? Why not smoke celery? Broccoli, you can break down broccoli too. So at the end of the day, man, we have to understand this. The Most High gave us this for meat, man. Ain't nothing wrong with eating it. But we don't eat it to get high, though. The Most High there's purposes to eat these things, man. If you still trying to get high, man, you still in the world. And brothers try to sway away to different doctrines to try to satisfy them smoking. And the Lord gonna destroy you for that. So let's get this in Matthew. So this is Matthew chapter 12 and 43, right? So Matthew chapter 12 and verse 43, it says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest and findeth none. So we're talking about a demon, a spirit. Like some brothers have a lust demon that they get rid of. Some people have a smoking demon that they get rid of, an anger demon that they get rid of. It says that when an unclean spirit is gone out of a man, when he finally get rid of that spirit, it says he walketh through dry places seeking rest and finding none. He findeth another body that he can go into and find that rest. We talking about a unclean spirit. It says, then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out. So when he can't find that body, guess where he comes back to? He comes back to that same body that he had left in the beginning, that cast him out. He's like, I'm gonna go back home and see if he's ready for me. See if that was just a phase. And we can clearly see, dealing with the nation of Israel, we can see a lot of brothers, it was just a phase, man. That demon came right back like, hey, what's up? And it's going to give us more. It says, then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he has come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Room for that demon to come back. Plush laid, everything set up for the demon to just walk right back in. Because he's not founded on what the scriptures tell us to do. Like, for instance, it was told marijuana, dealing with the herb, it was gave for us to eat, man, not to smoke it. So let's continue with verse 45. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. It says, then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. So he brought more unclean. Next thing you know, we dealing with legion. And what are these 7 other unclean spirits, man? It can be dealing with even heavier drugs, dealing with a bigger lust. You went back there, you let that weed demon come in. Next thing you know, you dealing with all kind of other, you dealing with coke now. You even far more angry. You without natural affection. You don't give a damn about nothing no more. Thing you want to get that. You want to get your drugs, your dose. Man, all the brothers that smoke weed, we already know what's going on. We smoked weed. but it's time to cast that behind us. That's only if you really believe. You are bugged out. You are crazy if you think you're gonna walk into the kingdom high as hell. That's crazy. So let's continue. It says, and they enter in and dwell there, and the last state of that man is worse than the first, man. And that's what you see, especially dealing with the stuff that he tried to bring out the Bible after he starts smoking. He start back smoking. You be like, bro, how are you even? Why do you have a Bible in your hand and you smoking? Like, these brothers be high as hell, as they're teaching. Nobody's gonna take you serious. It says, even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. Right? So let's get this precept right here. Let's get this precept right here. And like I said, man, this is just the simplicity of the scriptures, man. This is simple stuff, but there's a reason why they don't understand that. There's a reason. So this is 2 Thessalonians 2:10, and I always bring this out. It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. It's saying that they did not love the truth. They didn't have love for it. They was in it for their own reasons. That's why those demons came back in. There's a lot of brothers that's in the truth now that gave it up. And then that demon that goes back to Matthew 12 that we just read, they didn't let those demons back in. So why you let him in is because to some brothers, it's just a phase for them to stop smoking. It says, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. It says, and for this cause, for you doing that, it says, God shall send them strong delusion that they shall believe a lie. And what's that lie that they believe? That you gonna make it into the kingdom smoking. That is a lie that you believe, that the Lord set up for you to believe, man. He put a stumbling block in your face, man. He set you up with a stumbling block that you might believe a lie. And I know there's a lot of brothers that disagree with that, but at the end of the day, man, do a video to prove otherwise. That's all I ask. Because we know smoking is not biblical, man. You never caught our forefathers in an ancient world rolling up joints before they went to war, or rolling up joints because their wife was getting on their damn nerves. You never seen that. Never even heard of that. So where does smoking come from? And if you found out that it comes from a heathen god, would you really stop? Would you really stop? Ask yourself that. So let's go to Romans chapter 12. All right. So this is the book of Romans chapter 12. And I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. So we're supposed to present our body a living sacrifice, not damaging our body, dealing with smoking. It says holy. We're supposed to be holy. You can't be holy with a mind full of demons, hallucinating, panicking, and having short-term memory loss. You can't do that. It says acceptable unto God. How are you acceptable unto God if you high as hell? How? It says, which is your reasonable service, and be not conformed to this world. Isn't this what the world does? Didn't Esau just pass a law on smoking, saying it's okay? We're not supposed to be conformed to this world, man. It says, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. How can you do that when we clearly looking at the truth about marijuana right here? How can you be transformed by the renewing of your mind, smoking and having these kind of effects? Right? And there's even more. I got another article, right? And it literally breaks down what THC does to the body, good and bad. And we're not talking about just smoking it. We're talking about when you eat it also, the things that it does for your body. Right? So let me continue this. It says, by the renewing of your mind, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. We're supposed to be become new creatures. We're supposed to be coming out of the stuff that we did in the world. It says that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. And we all know what the will of the Most High God is at the end of the day. And you can't do that having impaired judgment or memory problems. You can't do that. When you high, you don't want to do nothing. You don't want to do anything when you high, man. And I've witnessed this stuff. That's how I know. And can't nobody tell me otherwise because I've smoked. Right? So let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah right quick. So this is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times." Not smoking herb, man. Not smoking weed, not smoking gas. It says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of time. This is what's going to get you through your problems, man, not smoking. And if you don't believe that, hey, that's something that the Most High is going to deal with you accordingly on, because you didn't believe in the first place. Obviously, we put all our cares upon the Most High, like the scriptures tell us to do. We don't put all our cares on a damn blunt. What happens when the Most High really do away with that stuff? Where you can't roll it up in your stick, or you don't have a lighter to bag up to where you can smoke it. What you gonna do then? Right? So this is another article I have on dealing with the effects of smoking, right? But I want to read this first. It says the effects of smoke of marijuana on your body. Marijuana is made from the shredded and dried parts of cannabis plant, including the flowers, seeds, leaves, and stems. It's also known as pot, weed, hash, and dozens of other names. While many people smoke or vape it, you can also consume marijuana as an ingredient in food, brew, teas, or oils. And these are the things you should be using them for. These are the things you should be using them for, not smoking or vaping it. It says different methods of taking the drug may affect your body differently. When you inhale marijuana smoke into your lungs, the drug is quickly released into your bloodstream and makes its way to your brain and other organs. It takes a little longer to feel the effects if you eat or drink marijuana. And this is why you got niggas smoking it. Hey, at the dispensaries, they have edibles, but niggas go straight to the plant. Why? Because they want to take it home, break it down, put it in a grinder, break it down, roll it up, and smoke it because they wanted to get to their bloodstream way faster. That is a junkie, man. That is that's a problem. You're trying to get high instead of using it what it's created for. It says you can eat it. They're telling you right here it's better to eat it. It says there is ongoing controversy around the effects of marijuana on the body. People report various physical and psychological around the effects of marijuana on the body. People report various physical and psychological effects from harm and discomfort to pain relief and relaxation. So it says, let's get into it. It says impaired judgment is one of them. THC alters the way you process information. And we just went over that. A brother be high as hell trying to read the scriptures, and he swore that it's saying this, and it's not. For instance, the main brothers that smoke weed, they swear that First Corinthians 3:16 ain't talking about smoking. When it says that you defile in a temple. So how do you defile the temple then? You would literally have to break that down. How do you defile the temple, man? So let's continue. It says memory problems. THC changes how information is processed in a part of your brain called the hippocampus. It can affect your ability to form fresh memories, which is a problem, man. Because we're supposed to be transformed by the renewing of our mind, what we just read. So it impairs your judgment from smoking, and it creates memory problems. And we all know this is talking about smoking, because the Most High wouldn't have gave us these kind of effects by eating it when he told us that we can eat it. So we know this is talking about smoking it. But it does has its perks, though. It does has a good side of it. Herb is not a bad plant. It's you niggas that's smoking it. It's you niggas that use it for those reasons that make it seem like it's bad. The herb is a beautiful thing, man. It's just what you niggas is doing with it. It says increased dopamine release. Marijuana triggers the release of dopamine in your brain, giving you the infamous high feeling. This is what brothers, they gotta be high, man. They gotta be high. It says dopamine can also heighten your sensory perception, right? So over here it says, over here it says increased or decreased depression symptoms. And the reason why I'm saying increase and decrease, because it can go both ways. It says marijuana may ease certain symptoms of depression, but withdrawal may advance feelings of depression, right? When a nigga ain't got that, he ain't got the sack, his plug ain't coming through for him, he get depressed. He gets depressed, man. You get depressed just because a man can't come through with a bag for you, man. A marijuana, you get depressed. You cussing out the kids, you cussing out the wife, you even cussed out your mama, your daddy, or when they ain't got the money to give you, when they knowing what you gonna go do with it, they ain't giving you the money for it. It causes depression and increases that impression. And in the other way, on decreasing it, is when niggas get high, they get happy. Now you ain't depressed no more all of a sudden because you high, man. Not because you reading the scriptures and the Lord said, hey, I'm gonna make a way for you. No, you let weed, and this just proves that nigga, these niggas depend on weed. This is they God. It tells you right here, if you really look at these, a spiritual man looking at this kind of stuff, it tells you, man. The Lord says that to cast all our cares upon him, depend on him. And then it gives you the effects of smoking weed on how it creates depression. What are you supposed to do when you get depressed, man? You're supposed to run to the scriptures. So let's continue. It says increased or decreased anxiety. The impact of marijuana on anxiety differs from person to person. Some people say marijuana helps them relax. And this is one of the excuses that people use, man, on why they smoke. It helps relax them. It says others say that their anxiety worsens. So these are the excuses that brothers and sisters use to smoke, man. And this is why you have a lot of brothers that cast away the New Testament, because the New Testament condemns that, man. The Old Testament do too, because it tells you to eat it. But that 1 Corinthians 3:16, it details Genesis 1:30, where it tells us to eat it. It talks about defiling the temple, and we all know how you defile the temple. So right here it says trouble for the developing brain. Babies whose mother used marijuana while pregnant. Give us an example. Babies whose mothers use marijuana while pregnant may develop problems with memory and concentration. So you cannot concentrate, and it's memory loss. We just read that in the other article, how it causes that. So trouble for developing the brain. Ain't we supposed to grow in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding? You're stopping that when you smoke. Simple. And these is like Google articles that you can look, man. But brothers don't want to, because they too busy getting high. They want that feel-good doctrine. They don't want something that's going to tell them, hey, you can't do that. Especially if it feels good, man. Because we all know sin feels good, but there's a judgment for sin. Right? So it says glaucoma relief. Marijuana can lower pressure within the eyes. And this is how we know if a brother is high, man. It says, and relief symptoms of glaucoma for a short time. So yeah, that can happen from eating it also. Eating it can relieve that symptom. You don't have to smoke it. You can drink it or you can eat it. Okay, so it says right here, burning mouth. When smoking marijuana, it's possible to burn your mouth and throat. Yeah, we already understand that. So it causes red eyes. This is another sign that we can see if somebody's high. The THC in marijuana can cause red eyes. This due to the blood vessels, your eyes expanding. It says bronchitis. Frequent smoking can irritate your bronchial passages and increase your risk of bronchitis. And that goes into your breathing problems. So you're increasing your risk of having these breathing problems, man. So it's like you got asthma from smoking. And we understand it because, wow, you ain't supposed to be inhaling anything. So the next one, it says accelerated heartbeat. Smoking marijuana causes an almost immediate jump in your heart that can last for hours, man. Let's go to the next one. It says phlegmy cough. Another sign when you see a brother coughing like crazy and he's spitting up mucus and and you get to wondering why is that happening? Because one of the reasons is because it can go into smoking. If you smoke marijuana often, you're likely to cough and produce a lot of phlegm, which goes into mucus. Why? Because your lungs cannot, it's not used to that. It's not supposed to be used to it. It's not supposed to smoke. It's not supposed to go into your lungs, man. And even when you blow that smoke out, not all of that smoke comes out. So let's get the next one. Right here, it says the munchies, man. And this is not as bad as it may seem because some brothers do. You can still eat the marijuana and still get the munchies, man, because some people have low appetites and they want to increase their eating appetite. So they eat an edible and it increases it. So it says the munchies. It says marijuana stimulates the appetite, which can be useful for people being treated for cancer or AIDS. However, if you're watching your weight, this side effect may not be desirable, right? So we almost done here. And then we can get to some more scriptures. Right, so we got lung irritation. It says marijuana smoke contains a mixture of toxic chemicals. They spray pesticides on that gas that you smoking. They put all kind of chemicals on that gas that you smoking, and you're burning it and inhaling it into your system. Why would Esau have something illegal for so long and then make it legal without using war, without waging war with it also? He do it with the food, man. He waged war on us with the food that we eat. He kills us every day with the food that we eat, that he knows we have to eat. And he see everybody smoking weed, he's going to make it legal, and he's going to kill you through it also. This is not the same herb that the Most High set out for us. All right, so let's get into some more scriptures right quick, and then we can get back to that. Right? So let's go to 1 Peter 5 and 7, right? Salakia. So this is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. It says, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. So this is what we're supposed to be casting our cares upon, not finding where we can get our next blunt from, man. We're supposed to cast our cares upon the Most High. When you're dealing with depression, anxiety, you dealing with these things that we just named, you're supposed to run to the scriptures. You're supposed to run to the Most High, not to no damn blunt. So it says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So you're supposed to be sober and be vigilant, man. And then it tells us why, because Satan gonna get a hold of you and he gonna do whatever he want with you. When you smoke, you have no idea the demons that you're allowing to come into your mind. The things that we all went through this. The things that you think about when you high is not the same things you think about when you sober. You think you Superman when you high, man. You think you know everything when you high. And then somebody will correct you and be like, bro, you just high, man. You thought you had a good ass point, or you thought you had a good statement or a good question or whatever. You thought it was the best in your mind, but when you come out, somebody be like, bro, you just high, man. Which is not good. Right? So it says, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And this is spiritually and physically. How you gonna deal when the police pulling us over, knowing that the police is killing Jake? He pull you over, he see you high. He can use that to his advantage on killing you. Because your eyes was dilated and he was afraid for his life. It says be harmless as wise as a serpent. That's not wise. And be harmless as a dove, man. And we know these kind of things, man, but you brothers still choose to get high. Right? So let's go to Sirach chapter 38. Right? So this is the book of Sirach chapter 38, right? 38, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. So it says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him, for the Lord have created him. So the Lord created the physician. The physician is the one who has these herbs. He know exactly what's for your body, which herb you should be using, not smoking. Nowadays, you got these physicians telling you, well, you should try smoking. Why? Because they already made it legal. So it's let's drop down to verse, and I'm gonna just pick through chapter 38 because it's talking about the physician, but I want to pick through it. So verse 4, it says, the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So we do not abhor herbs. We love herbs, man. It's for the service of man. But inventors of evil things, where does that come into play? Where does inventors of evil things come into play, man? And with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that us in the brotherhood, we understand that inventors of evil things is things like this. He said, eat something. You say, no, I'm going to smoke it. And there's nothing wrong with it when there's clearly something wrong with it. You can't even stay focused, let alone try to study. So it says, the Lord have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. All right, so let's draw down to verse 7. It says, with such doth he heal men and taketh away their pains. So this is one of the reasons we was given these herbs, is to take away pains and to heal. Not to be trying to get high because you don't know what today might bring. All right, so let's drop down to verse 9. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. So this goes into dealing with depression, anxiety, all this. He tells you right here. It says, my son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. Physical and spiritually. Right? So let's continue. Let's drop down to verse 12. It says, then give place to the physician, for the Lord hath created him. We understand that. We just read that in verse 1. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him. We all have need of a physician. Everybody gets sick, but bro, there's no excuse for smoking at all, man. It's not tolerable. We shouldn't be tolerating that in the nation. And like I said, this is why you got a lot of Old Testament only brothers cast away the New Testament, even though it's in the Old Testament too. He tells you to eat it, but in the New Testament, it literally breaks it down for you. It details a lot of things, just like the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. It breaks down the whole background of the law in general, and it does the same thing when it comes to the herbs, right? So let's continue, man. Let's draw down to verse 14. It says, for they shall also pray unto the Lord that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. This is what the herbs are given for. This is what the physician gives you the herbs for, to heal you and to give you that ease and to prolong your life. But at the end of the day, it's up to the Most High if you survive or not. Just like it's up to the Most High, you thinking smoking is gonna get you past depression. What happens when you go sober? Because if you smoke again, if you say I'm gonna smoke again after that, then you labeling yourself a junkie. So if the Most High wants you to deal with that depression, you're gonna deal with that depression, man. You are gonna deal with that depression, right? So let's read verse 15. He that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hand of a physician. And the modern day physicians now, they will give you anything. And that's how you know, hey, this is how the Lord is judging people also. Let him fall into the hands of a physician, right? So let's go to 1 Timothy, right? Because you don't always have to, not saying that the herb is not. At the end of the day, man, why don't you run to wine to help get you through the day? Because wine that's what it's for. It's to make men glad, right? When you depressed, it's to make you glad. Why not run to that? But you got these brothers that's running to, they trying to justify, and they meditate daily on how to justify smoking weed, man. But this is 1 Timothy chapter 5 and 23. So like, yeah. 1 Timothy 5 and 23. It says, drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake. This is Paul talking to Timothy. It says, drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake. So even when dealing with sickness, like we just went over about this physician, when you sickness, it tells you to pray for the Lord. But Paul also gives us a detail. He says, hey, drink a little wine. You don't have to smoke. It says, and if you really want to be honest, man, we can use common knowledge and see where smoking come from. It come from Hinduism, I believe it is, man. Because there's one of those idols, man, where it literally like it's a smoking demon or something like that, man. Salakia. Man, I'm trying to think of what is it I seen about that. I should have had it pulled up already, man. Salakia. But it says, verse 23, drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake and thine often infirmities. What's one infirmity? Depression, anxiety. Paul said, use wine for these things, not smoking no damn J. Right? And we can get an example in Isaiah, man, about the king being healed with a herb, man. You can use it for the body and you can use it for the inside of the body, man. But smoking is something you can't, there's no use for it within the nation. Right? So this is Isaiah chapter 38 and 20. We're going to start at 20, man. And this is talking about King Hezekiah. The Most High God told him he was going to die. And then he blessed him and said that I will add 15 more years onto your life. So this is Isaiah coming to King Hezekiah. It says, verse 20, the Lord was ready to save me. Therefore, we will sing my songs to the string instruments all the days of our life in the house of the Lord. For Isaiah had said, let them take a lump of figs, and a fig is a herb. It says, and lay it. And why y'all not smoking this? It says, and lay it for a plaster upon the boil, because he had a boil, and this boil is what made him sick unto death. He was about to die from this boil, and he shall recover. So why y'all not smoking this to recover then? Why? Because you was taught to smoke marijuana, man. You was taught to smoke marijuana. And at the end of the day, you don't know who you was taught to smoke marijuana from. Your mom don't know. Their mom don't know. But later on down that line, I bet you will find out that it comes from an idol, man. It comes from the worshiping of idols. So verse 22, it says, Hezekiah also had said, what is the sign that I shall go up unto the house of the Lord. He like, when will I be clean when I can go into the house of the Most High God, man? But at the end of the day, Isaiah used a lump of figs to heal the boil that was on King Hezekiah. These are the kind of things that they were made for. And like I said, man, if you really believe smoking is okay, ask yourself, would you let your youth smoke? Would you let your son or your daughter smoke in their youth? And then imagine the toll that it'll take on their lungs, their mind and body being so young. And then you look at yourself and be like, is this really right? And we know it ain't, man. This is just common sense, man. All right, so let me finish these off, right? So going back to this article, right? So it says the munchies increase lung cancer, right? It says smoking marijuana may lead to long-term lung problems such as cancer. And what helps with that? You using that paper. You using a damn bong that's made out of glass or metal. Instead of putting it in some tea, or instead of making oil out of it, or putting it in, hey, hell, your macaroni or something. Right? So let's go to this one. It says reducing nausea and vomiting. Right? So this is one of the benefits of eating it. We know it's not talking about smoking, man. It says people being treated with chemotherapy may benefit from using marijuana to reduce side effects such as nausea and vomiting. So these are the benefits of eating the herb. There is no benefits of smoking it. I don't give a damn what nobody say. There is no benefits of smoking it. And if you believe that, I would love to see you prove it. It says weaken immune system. THC might harm your immune system, making you more vulnerable to illness. Why? Because you're smoking it. It can't be from eating it, because the Most High told us right here. The Most High told us right here. It says, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. So the Most High told us to eat it. So we know right here, when it says weaken immune system, it's talking about you smoking it. There is no good coming out of smoking it at all. Right? So this is another one right here. And this is another benefit of eating the herb. So it says marijuana may temporarily help relieve pain and inflammation in the body. And we just read that about King Hezekiah. Let's get it again. So Isaiah 38:20, the Lord was ready to save me. Therefore, we will sing my songs to the stringed instruments all the days of our life in the house of the Lord. For Isaiah had said, let them take a lump of figs and lay it for a plaster upon the boil, and he shall recover. It helped with his pain and his inflammation in the body. A boil is an inflammation in the body. And this is marijuana helps with that. And not only marijuana, just herbs in general. There's different herbs for different things, man. There's herbs that you can't eat. And there's herbs that you can't eat that you're supposed to put on your body. And hey, the other way around, man, there's plenty of different herbs, man. But you cannot prove one of those herbs to be smoked. And that's biblical, and that's okay with the Most High. So it says right here, it relieves pain, right? And we just looked at that in the Sirach chapter 38, talking about the physician, right? So it says right here, slowed reaction time. We need to be quick on that sword, right? But it tells you right here, slowed reaction time. Marijuana affects your balance and coordination. Your reflexes may be slower than usual, affecting things such as your ability to drive. And we understand that, man. And this is the main thing you see niggas doing when they get that weed in their system. They want to hop in traffic. Right? So it says right here, withdrawal symptoms. You withdrawing because why? Let's read it. There's a small possibility of becoming addicted to marijuana after long-term use. And we all could testify to that, man. And it was Probably one of the hardest thing to do is stop smoking. But you have to. This proves that you believe in the Most High. This proves that you care about the Most High. It says when you stop using it, you may experience withdrawal symptoms. You're not going to have those same symptoms eating it, because at the end of the day, you don't have to stop eating it. But this right, we're talking about smoking it. You having withdrawals from you. What's other things you have withdrawals from, man? Pills, man, opioids, which proves when you doing that inventors of an evil thing, this is what you turned it into. That's not what herb is, but this is what you turned it into, man. This is what you turned it into. And next thing you know, you an addict, man, because you decided to smoke it. Hey, everybody that smoke weed, man, you become an addict, man. I don't give a damn what you say. I smoked it. And you start smoking wax. You got dab. You looking for the highest strand, Afghanistan Kush. You looking for Maui. You looking for all that high THC level stuff, man. You looking for the highest THC levels in the marijuana, which proves you doing it to get high. When you're supposed to be transformed by the renewing of your mind, but you high as hell saying you transform when by the renewing of your mind. That makes no sense, and you're a reprobate mind, and that's why 2 Thessalonians said that. It said it shall give you a reprobate mind that you may believe a lie, roughly paraphrasing. You think you're a man of the Most High God smoking weed. Come on, man. So let's get this last one. It says, research suggests, it says decreased risk of tumor growth. And we know this is talking about eating it. Research suggestions and man, this is common knowledge, man. You can look and see the things that talks about eating it and the things that talk about smoking it. Because it tells you all the bad things that's going to happen from smoking it. But it didn't have its good things about it. About smoking it? Hell no, that's not what that's talking about. It's talking about the good use of eating it, because it tells you up here, right here. It says, while many people smoke or vape it, you can also consume marijuana as an ingredient in food, brewed teas, or oils. So these definitions that is given us down here, we know it's talking about both. So the last one, it says decreased risk of tumor growth. And it's talking about eating it. It says research suggestions that THC, an active ingredient in marijuana, may interfere with tumor growth as it's carried throughout your bloodstream. However, it's still unclear if there's a direct connection yet between marijuana use and tumor risk. So these are the things that the Most High God created them for. Things like that, tumor risk. You know, when you have a low appetite and you wanna up the ante on your appetite, and we ain't talking about no smoking weed munchies appetite. You know, like off of what's that movie called, man, where he was like Half Baked, man, where he was asking for all this crazy stuff. He was talking about Funyuns and water and pizza and chocolate, and he was asking for all these different things, man. This is what happens when you high, man. On any kind of drug, man, you had these same effects, man. Give a damn what nobody say, right? So, but like I said, at the end of the day, man, it all goes back to pharmaceuticals. It all goes back to being fleshly, man. Witchcraft, sorcery, enchantments. You doing enchantments on yourself smoking. You think you know stuff that nobody else know. You asking stupid questions. Stupid questions, man. Right? So let's get this last precept and let's get up out of here. All right, so this is Romans chapter 15 and verse 4, right? So Romans 15 and 4, it says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. So the things that was written in the Old Testament and the New Testament was written for our learning. And what is one of those things, the lesson we're going over, the Most High said to eat it, man. It shall be for meat for you. You don't smoke meat, man. You smoke it on a grill, but you don't inhale meat. He said it should be given to you for meat. So he's giving the same analogy. This is food. This is meat. Like I said, you don't smoke those things. You don't smoke food or meat unless it's on a grill, man. So it says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, man. So this is what we put all our trust in. We cast our cares upon the Most High, not smoking and getting high, man. So, man, Lord willing, somebody was edified with this lesson, man. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. Don't smoke weed. Don't take the vaccine. Shalom, Wa Barak, Mashpakah.